Hey everybody, Pastor Jim here from the Indian Lake Community Church in the Lighthouse of Indian Lake. Hope this finds you all safe, happy, and well for this midweek message. Been getting a couple of questions, so let me start by answering those questions as best I can. The first question is this. People have asked me, Pastor Jim, you used to move around and do these videos in different locations and mix things up a little bit, and we kind of miss that. So, why are you in your office all the time doing these videos now? And the short answer is this. It's winter in Ohio, and if it's 12, 15 degrees wind chill outside and we've had ice and fog and yeah, no, I'm not going outside to do a video anytime in the near future as far as I can see. And so if you're asking me the question, why are you in your office all the time doing these videos? I'll just say it's winter in Ohio. There you go. And so will we do other things sometime in the future? Sure. Is it going to be outside in January? No. So that's hopefully answers question number one. Question number two, people have been asking me, are we going to worship in person this Sunday, January the 31st? And the answer is yes. Yes, we will be back to worshiping in person this Sunday, both at the 10 o'clock service and the 11 o'clock service. And I'm so looking forward to it. After a Sunday where we went back online for that one Sunday, it just reminds me about how much we miss our church family when they're not there. It's not easy to lead worship in an empty sanctuary. It's not easy with the music and the songs, and you don't have your church family there, and you don't have other voices, lifting their praise. It's just not the same. I can tell you that when Karen and I sing, it's a noise and it's joyful, but it ain't pretty. And so when it's just the two of us, it's not the same. And we're just hoping and praying that they have our microphones turned off so that nobody else has to endure our singing. If I sing by myself, it's not good. Karen feels the same way about her singing. You put us together, it's not getting any better. And so we really miss our church family, not just because of the music, but because when we look out, we want to see our brothers and sisters in Christ. We want to see our church family, this community, the fellowship of believers, and all of this. Because when we worship together, it's just very powerful and meaningful. And so we know people are online. There's lots, and there's hundreds of people that are watching literally online. But when you're in the sanctuary and it's just you and a couple other people, it's just not the same. And I know that our church family has told us that they feel the same way, that not being able to be in worship in person has been difficult. And so this all reminded me of Psalm 42, which the beginning of Psalm 42, the first 4 verses reads, "As the deer pants for streams of water, so my soul pants for you, O God. My soul thirsts for God, for the living God. Where can I go and meet with God? My tears have been my food day and night, while men say to me all day long, 'Where is your God?' These things I remember as I pour out my soul, how I used to go with the multitude, leading the procession to the house of God, with shouts of joy and thanksgiving among the festive throng." And so as the deer pants for water, it means that the deer depends on water for life, for sustenance, for refreshment. And that's how we should be with God. We should rely on God for our sustenance, for refreshment, and for life itself. And so the author of Psalm 42 is talking about he's in exile, and he's not able to attend worship with his fellow believers. He's not able to go up to the temple with the throng of believers to the house of God. And so that's how a lot of people feel right now, because they're worshiping online and not in person. But here's the thing. It's not just that we worship together, it's that we worship. And it's not just us being together, it's who we worship. And so the important thing is that we give God the place in our life that he should have, that he should be the first and foremost priority in our lives, not just a side note, not something from Sundays, or not something where we see or fellowship with our friends. God is the sustainer of our life. God is the giver of life. He is our refreshment. He is like the water to the deer, and if we don't keep God first and foremost in our lives, then things just don't seem right. And I know that if we don't worship together in the house of God, sometimes people say that doesn't feel quite right. And we're not in exile right now. The pandemic thing, maybe people feel that way, but we're not. And there will come a time when we can be together and all of us worship together again. And I know people that want to be in church, but they don't feel that they should be right now. And that's okay. That's okay. Worship with us online. And when the day and the time comes, if you can worship with us again in person, then look forward to that day. But church itself and the fellowship of believers and the community and the family is very important. But first and foremost, in everything in our lives, we should desire God first and foremost over everything. We should desire to be in his presence. We should desire to feel his strength, his spirit, and his love in our life every day. God needs to be the focal point in our lives. Whether you're in a church or whether you're at home or whether you're in a grocery store, it doesn't matter. We should desire God the way the deer pants for water. We should desire him in such a way that he is not just the giver of life, but he is our refreshment. He is our sustenance. He is the giver of life and the sustainer of life, and he is the first and foremost, most important thing in our lives. And so when we can all worship together again, we're going to have a big celebration. It'll be a beautiful day. Until then, until everybody's safe, the fact of the matter is you're in the presence of God no matter where you are. And so this Sunday, we welcome our church family back at 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock. We hope to see all of you back there who are ready and able to do so. For those of you who are going to worship online, we're so glad that you're with us and that you're participating in worship now. And one of these days, just like the author of this psalm, we will all be in that multitude, that throng heading into the house of God. It'll happen. It'll come. Until then, we'll continue to worship whatever way you feel comfortable, whether it's in person, whether it's online. But just know this, whether you're in the church or whether you're in your home, God is with you, and God will never fail you. All right? Anyways, it's great talking to you. Take care of yourselves. See you real soon.